Hey, John.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How much time do you have today before you end your day?
It depends on what you want to ask me. I mean, I
Review.
still have some time. I have some stuff to do still, but I also can stay a little bit longer today if needed. So yeah, I'm
Well,
asked to review
I'm
stuff
not
like.
trying to interrupt your ending of the day. I'm looking for reviews. I know Jarva's busy with other things and
Oh no, for reviews, I'm anyway planning at the end of the day to help you with that. So
okay, perfect. So the readiness review document I think is in a good state. I just need it to be reviewed by one of us before I send it out to the rest of infrastructure development and security. Um, I think the changes that Graham are proposing with the HA proxy cookbook will allow us to continue to use weights for a migration, which is good. So I did not change that section at all. You will notice that the readiness review looks very much similar, or if not nearly identical, to the one that you created for the API service. Because it was a copy and paste, I just made all what I thought were the necessary modifications to bring it up to date, etc.
mine was a copy of the previous one anyway. So it's a copy of a copy.
I think the only thing I didn't do that you did was you did a lot of work with our run books to get those updated.
Yeah.
I'm concentrating on getting the readiness review out there, and then we could work on updating our documentation when we're not trying to get the web migration completed.
Yeah, I think for
But
the Kubernetes migrations, in most cases, we have most of the interesting information in the readiness reviews anyway, and not in the runbooks.
yeah,
Then let's stay consistent with that. Even if I would
yeah.
like to have it the other way around, but at least we know where to look for. So
Realistically, I think when we find a good resting place, we really should just mass update all of our documentation. But
yeah, linking back from runbooks README, I think should be fine enough.
anyways, so the readiness review, I've got a chef update that I would like for you to look at that's specific to the GitLab HA proxy cookbook. Because what Graham has created looks legit. During my local testing, it appears to work as desired. I just want another set of eyeballs because chef is not my strong point anymore. So I've kind of I would like for you to increase my confidence that this approach is going to work as desired. I've tagged Jarv on it, but I'm sure he's busy. So
yeah, I will have a look at that.
I feel like there was a third one I wanted someone to look at.
Yeah, just ping me in those MRs or add me as a reviewer, then I will look into them.
You're already
I saw
assigned
them
as a
already.
reviewer.
Yeah. For the readiness review, by the way, Amy made the suggestion today to mention in the, how do we call this meeting? What was the DNA meeting
still
before?
call it
Now
DNA.
reliability discussions meeting. That I mentioned that we are progressing forward with the web migration, and that people should be careful when they do chef changes to port them back to Kubernetes, else you will end up with divergence. And so I did this there. Maybe you can reinforce that in the Americas session of that meeting.
I could do that.
And I didn't link the readiness review in this because yesterday you said it's not ready for general review yet. So
yeah, I just got a first draft. I would like for us to get it merged, and
yeah.
then we could follow the readiness review guidelines and assign it to people as necessary.
Then let me look into that today. Let's see if I can add stuff there, and then see how far we can get with that.
One thing that would be good to share in the reliability meeting, Skarbek, was one of the big change, and the reason I'd like us to have a readiness review in some state before we move to Canary is the Nginx removal. So just to try and have as many people as possible aware that that's happening, so that when we do move, if any incidents do happen, people have a few fewer steps of what's happening. So that's the other big bit that would be helpful to highlight for people.
Yeah, I added it to the agenda, so I know to talk about it.
Awesome. So it sounds like we have a good plan for the readiness review. And so from my side, like, I think if we're happy with the chef's changes and we have a draft readiness review available so people know about Nginx and they know that this is coming, then at that point, I'm happy for us to move to Canary. So we're super close, right?
Yeah, so assuming Henry doesn't have any further feedback, what I'll do is get it merged. And then during today's DNA meeting, I'll ask for volunteers. If no volunteers, people are going to get voluntold. And I'll follow our guidelines and assign out issues for various people. And I think at that point, tomorrow, Thursday already, maybe I'll pursue the change review or the change issue to push Canary into place.
Super. Sounds great. Sounds great. It could be one, depending on who the EOC is and depending on how busy they are, might be one we could consider pairing so that they can see it happen. But it obviously depends on when and what else is happening.
It would also be good because this is not going to be a short change request. So I want to make sure I'm not interfering with deployments either.
Yes.
Not because I feel like that's going to interrupt us, but because I don't want to be executing this while we're doing a deployment, because if something happens during the deployment, I'm not going to know if the deployment is at fault, the code change as a result, or if Canary itself is indeed falling apart.
Yeah.
So I need to find a good window that lasts quite a long time for that. So
this is going to be interesting because tomorrow I am also planning to do the production rollback test. So we will have some interesting stuff going on with production. But this should happen in my early afternoon. So I think before you are starting with your work. So this should be, if everything works well, it should be finished at 3 UTC.
So how about this instead? Alternative. The readiness review, again, pending your feedback, is ready. So if that's what's keeping us from moving to Canary, what if I just work a longer day and therefore we're pushing stuff into Canary later in the day, lower traffic, and there's not going to be any deploys because, well, I could work with Robert if necessary because I know he does work later than I do, but at least at that point, Graham is not going to be doing a deploy either. So I could just work a slightly longer day today and maybe push it out then.
That could be an option. Yeah. That could be an option.
I could pair with some members of the EOC at that point too, just so they see what we're doing and how horrendous this looks to them, and etc. That could be fun.
Yeah, that could be a good option.
I could use the DNA meeting to do the work.
Right. That would be super, actually. That would be super.
I'll propose it. I'm not going to
propose it, right? Because I think that would be great. Because I know a lot of people want to see this stuff. It's hard to get, like, you know, we don't get super many people in this demo because it's always a bit of a tiny snapshot of what we're doing and they're busy doing other stuff. But yeah, that could be a super one.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Okay, so I should work on the readiness review first or on the chef MR first?
Concentrate on the readiness review first.
Okay.
And then the chef MR, because the chef part is geared towards helping us move to production in a more easier fashion. And the readiness review is what's currently blocking us from moving Canary traffic.
Okay.
Awesome. Sounds like a good plan. So are there other things we want to go through in this demo?
Demo wise, I don't have anything to really demo. I'm surprised it's Wednesday already. I'm also surprised it's a whopping 90 degrees outside, so I wouldn't want to step out there.
Not the same. It's definitely not that in London. Okay, well, how about, sounds like we've got a good plan, right? It sounds like Henry could definitely do with some time to read through this readiness review. Skarbek, Ruben, I'm sure you both also have plenty of other things. So how about we end this early, get some time back now, and then Skarbek, like, you know, if you do manage, I mean, the reliability meeting is recorded anyway. So, you know, if we do manage to switch over during Canary, we can just also add that meeting onto our k8s workload, our k8s demo playlist, whatever it's called, and link it back into this as well, so we don't have to just demo twice.
Yeah. Okay. I think the final thing I kind of want to make sure Henry's aware of is the change request that Graham put together. I need to make a few changes because it looks like a lot of the links he logged or put together is pointed towards the main stage. But since we're only touching Canary, I want to make sure that we're looking at Canary log details and metrics. So I might ask you to just do a quick second run through of that CR. I think you already looked at it once. Maybe it was Jarv. I'll ping you on the change request when I'm done, and then feel free to look at that when you're when able.
Awesome. Great. Okay. Sounds like a good plan. Let's see how we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. All right. Thanks very much, everyone. Speak to you all later.
Thank you.
See you later and good luck.
Bye.